All right. Well, I am so happy to be having a conversation with you, Miss Angela Jackson, representative of Athene, and this is all possible because Athene is the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit. So thank you for being with me today and spending a little time talking with us.
Thanks for having me,
Yes.
Dwana. It's an honor.
Well, I know you because I tell people all the time, a lot of things that are possible for me has been because of you, and Terrence shared the exact same thing. You spend quite a bit of time mentoring people and pouring into people, and I want to first start by saying thank you for everything that you've done and that you've poured into me. I honestly mean I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. So I just need to say thank you for that. Tremendous. Because your wisdom and your knowledge of the business world and how to do things, and I always remembered you're like, look at what other people are doing. That was the one thing you told me, and I still do that to this day, of looking at what other people are doing and not have to reinvent the wheel too much. But you have blessed me, and I know Terrence gave you accolades as well, and so I know we're both really grateful for everything that you do, for the things that aren't always seen. Many people don't know, but I wanted to say thank you before we started our conversation today.
You're a great student.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now talk to us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into more about the work that Athene is doing with the Black and Brown Business Summit.
Well, first of all, I'm just a normal person. Mm-hmm. I own a business, The Great Frame Up, have owned it since 2005, mm-hmm. and I started working for Athene to lead their diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives. They were already doing some good things, and the wonderful thing at the time was the West Des Moines Chamber was also launching into the diversity, equity, inclusion space with their DEI committee. Mm-hmm. So the two great organizations combined with the first summit, and we are now in our fourth year of the Black and Brown Business Summit, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, no, it's really great. It seems like it's grown so much in the last 4 years and being part of it. So talk to me about why Athene invests in this Black and Brown Summit.
Well, we know that, it's part of our commitment as a company. Really, we want to advance minoritized businesses. We want to advance those who are in our community across the country and really position Iowa as a great place in the nation to start a business, to continue to grow and scale a business. We know it's a wonderful community, but it's not as often elevated. Right. So this is an opportunity to elevate the community, and it's also an opportunity to elevate others. People of color are disproportionately impacted and are not always equipped with the tools they need to start a business, or even as motivated to continue the hard grind. Right. So they can be doing great things, but they need to see other people who are going to motivate them. Yeah. So Athene, we really feel this is a positive force in our community. We want to position Athene in a way that helps advance economic opportunities, because where our company is located in West Des Moines, we want our employees to be able to thrive and have businesses that they support that are also thriving. We want to support local businesses, and also we want a way to enhance their quality of life. Right. When people see people who look like them thriving in the community from a business perspective, they're encouraged, and I think it motivates people to do their best.
Yeah, no, I think it does. Talk a little bit about the core philosophies that Athene considers when they're deciding to invest in communities partnerships, and especially those partnerships that they are investing in Central Iowa.
Great question. Athene strives to support our communities where we need investment and those who need it most. So we rely on the grassroots support of our employees, as well as amplifying our partnerships that are meaningful. We want partners who get us, and who are also strategically aligned. Right. Our efforts really continue around uplifting and creating a workforce that the culture and the people all feel that they're embraced. This is a journey. It's not something we're going to do overnight. It's not shake and stir. Yeah. And also make a tangible commitment, something that's sustainable, long-lasting, impactful. We invest in partnerships where there's positivity. Yes. And people are honest and trustworthy, where you're generating a meaningful, long-lasting impact from a cultural perspective. That's really important. Yeah. In addition, diversity, equity, inclusion is very important. We want to create opportunities. Really important that we have career opportunities for all of our employees to be their best where they are working, but also feel good about the communities where they're living. And you can only do that when you have businesses and you have small businesses that are uplifted. I think that just adds a lot to our economy, but it also adds a lot to the quality of life. And that's why we think that investing and continuing to invest in the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit is a really impactful thing for us to do in our community.
Yeah, talk about the uniqueness that comes with that, with Athene, really investing in this compared to some of the investments that you do with others. How do you see this partnership as being unique?
Well, it's unique because we know the stats are not the greatest, right? The partnership aligns with our philosophy of elevating underserved communities wherever they are, and especially where we're working. We know historically there's just an underserved representation in minoritized businesses in our community and just overall in terms of the funding that is received. And so there's a real need there.
Yes.
There's a gap. There's an opportunity to make a difference, and there's an opportunity to make a lasting difference, long-lasting change, because if you change one business owner, then they're able to impact their community, they're able to impact their family, they're able to impact the social organizations that they care about from where they give their donations, and that can be transformative from a generational perspective. So building a legacy of wealth has always been a theme. This year's theme is, creating a place for dreamers, for innovators, for trailblazers, people who've always wanted to start a business, or people who are trailing ahead of the others in the community, and people who are innovative, just fostering a space and a safe space where people can really talk with one another, who are all on the same page that try to uplift those things.
Yeah, and that piece is so important, having someone who is on the same page and also dealing with the same things that maybe you're dealing with as a business owner.
Right, because it's hard.
It is so hard.
Yeah, and then other people say, I know, it's hard too. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you doing yoga? What are you doing?
Then you feel like you're not alone, right? Because that's the thing is, I'm thinking like, am I the only one struggling with this? And then you get in a space like this and you're like, no, we're all struggling with that. Or here's the way to make that better. And I think that's what this space allows, is the collective can come together to figure some things out. So I think that part is really great. So talk about Athene's partnership support to employee engagement and the company culture.
Well, it takes a village, right?
Yes.
And you can't do this with just a couple people. So we have a workforce, and everyone is committed to embrace this. We have a team of people. We have a team of volunteers. We all get involved. Our employee resource groups get involved. We're part of really treating people with integrity and fairness and embracing our community. So we get excited when it's time. It's a lot of work, but we get excited when it's time to do this. And we want to make sure that in many ways our community is impacted in a positive way. So we're continuously working toward advancing internal and external partnerships and supporting initiatives that celebrate diversity, that celebrate and ignite opportunities. One of the great stories that we have is one of our former employees was a winner of the pitch, Israel, and he'll be coming this year to speak at the summit and talk about the wonderful things his business is doing and the fact that he's, been nominated for Grammys. I mean, it's just a great story to tell. We never knew when we were starting to partner with the West Des Moines Chamber that would happen, because we couldn't predict who was going to be the first pitch competition winner. Never knew that he used to work at Athene. So it's a great story that weaves together. And it was like, oh, we planned it. We didn't plan it. But it also shows that not everybody we know is going to stay in the corporate environment forever. Some people may have other aspirations, but it lets people know that could be a starting place. That a place where you can get some of your leadership skills and develop, and then go launch out and do other things, or do both, whatever works good for that person. So, West Des Moines is where we are located. That's where our headquarters is. And the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit is a great place, and it's going to be in our building, and we're glad to make that commitment in the long run.
Yeah. Well, we know that you are a part of the Black and Brown Business Summit, but talk to our listeners about the other things that Athene does, the supports that you offer in our community and the partnerships that you have. Just speak a little bit to some of the other things that Athene are doing. I think sometimes people can put Athene and the work they're doing in this box, not realizing that you all are doing amazing and wonderful things. So talk a little bit about that.
Sure, glad you asked that. We're doing a lot with things that are sustainable. We have a lot in terms of giving back. We won the United Way Spirit Award for multiple years. And so it's part of who our mission is, part of what really gets people jazzed up and excited to say, okay, we are a company that gives back. We work to make a difference through volunteering. A lot of companies do that. We just feel like it's part of who we are. And then in terms of philanthropic giving, that's a high priority, to make sure that our leaders and our employees are giving back to the communities where they live, and we enjoy doing it. It's something that is a high priority to make sure that we champion education, make sure we champion philanthropic and sustainable environmental components like the water project, the Easter Seals project that we're working with, Easter Lake, the Athene Bridge, and so many other things. And then also areas in the human service area, areas in the health and well-being area. All of those are pillars that we stand upon. Each year we continue to give thousands of dollars in volunteer hours, as well as food items for those who are food insecure. Donations, both financially and in kind, are provided by the Athene Charitable Foundation. It's something that we're really proud of, but it also is something when you walk around, you in the community, you can smile because you know where you work also cares about where you're living.
Exactly. And that's really important. So I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk with me today about the great work that Athene is doing, not only your involvement in the Black and Brown Business Summit, but the things that you are doing beyond that. One way that I like to end the show is to share something positive with our listeners. So if there's a scripture, if there's a song, if there's a quote, something that kind of keeps you going and keeps you in that positive space, would you be okay with sharing that with our listeners today?
Sure. I believe that to whom much is given, much is required. I feel like I've been very blessed. I lost my mom when I was 15, and I came from a very strong faith-based community and very strong faith-based family. And their road has not always been easy. But it's been so much easier than others. And recently I've started doing family history. Ancestry.com has been phenomenal. And so when I look back at my life and I think things over, oh, what a blessing the Lord has been. And when I think about my ancestors and I do the research and I find those little leaves that pop up and see the draft cards of my, my uncle who served in World War II and jumped out of the planes as a paratrooper. And then I look further down in my family history and they're not direct relatives, but they're tangential. And I see that they were a part of the colored troops who fought in the Civil War. And I see, this is great migration. So many people were from Mississippi and from South Carolina and North Carolina. And then there's another leaf that pops up and says, wait, your family might be related to this really famous enslaved woman. And she had, the leaders of the community carrying her casket, and the leaders of the community happened to be white. So that's why it was really important that she was a famous, slave. I don't know if all these leads are true, but it makes me think whatever I'm going through is pretty easy compared to what they went through. I wasn't born in the 1700s. I wasn't born in 1860 before, Emancipation Proclamation. I was born in a spirit in a time right after the Civil Rights Movement, but still I have it good. I have it and I'm blessed. So I feel like I need to be able to give back. And this is one way, but multiple ways. I just challenge people, no matter what it is, just think things over. And know that you're blessed.
Thank you so much for those words. I thought you was going to start bringing out that song for me.
But I know you know it.
I know the song. I was waiting for it. I was like, she's going to give me that song. Thank you so much again for taking time. And thank you to Athene for the great work that they're doing in our community. And we appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.